The older black woman kept her skin smooth for 40 years on what sat in her kitchen, and she never owned a single thing the beauty aisle sells now. We have the serums she never had, the creams, the whole shelf, and still, at 60, her face held better than most do at 40. There was a short list she lived by, never written down. The last one, at number 1, is why none of the rest ever had to work hard. Stay with me. Number 20. She smoothed warm honey over her face and left it. The older black woman took the jar of honey down from the pantry shelf, the thick amber kind, still slow and warm from sitting near the stove. She spread a thin coat across her face and let it sit while she moved about the kitchen. Then a warm rinse, and the skin came up soft and full. Here is why it held. Honey pulls water out of the air and into the skin and keeps it there, a humectant doing the exact thing the aisle now bottles, and it calms the skin while it works. The older black woman did it once a week, the jar by the stove, nothing measured. The aisle sells a honey mask now in a glass pot for $30. The jar on her shelf cost a dime. The honey did not change. The price did. Number 19. She put the cocoa butter on while she was still warm and wet. The black mother stepped from the Saturday bath and did not dry off. Her shoulders were still damp, the steam still rising. She took Palmer's cocoa butter, the brown and gold stick, and worked it in while her skin was open and warm. That warm, wet window is the whole trick. Skin that is still damp drinks the most and holds it the longest, because the oil seals the surface water in before it can leave. Wait until you are dry and the window is gone. Palmer's sat on that shelf since the 1840s. It did alone what the aisle now splits across a serum, a treatment, and a night cream, each one sold to you on its own line. Quick pause, one breath only. Every habit here came from our women, the ones who were never once thanked for it. Maybe one was your own grandmother. Please tap the like and subscribe button. Thank you kindly for it. Now, back to the countdown. Number 18. She pressed up and out, never down. The older black woman smoothed the cream into her face, and her hands only moved one way, up along the jaw, out across the cheek, never down, never dragging toward the chin. She did it without a reason she could name, and the reason turns out to be gravity. Skin pulled downward, night after night, learns the downward path and slackens along it. Working up and out keeps the same stretch from wearing the same line. 40 years of upward strokes is 40 years of not helping the sag along. Her hands knew it. The bottle never told her. Number 17. She wiped tired skin with buttermilk. The black mother kept a glass of buttermilk in the icebox, thick and cool. On a morning when the skin looked dull and tired, she dipped a cloth and wiped it across her face, then rinsed it clean after a few minutes. She called it nothing at all. What it was lactic acid, a mild fruit acid that loosens the dead gray cells sitting on the surface so the fresh skin underneath shows through. The aisle has a word for that now and a price to match. The black mother had a glass that cost 4 cents and the cow down the road. The acid did not change. The label did. Number 16. She tightened her skin with 1 egg white. The African-American grandmother cracked an egg over the bowl and kept the white. She smoothed it thin across her forehead and her cheeks and let it sit while it dried tight. Then a cool rinse, and the skin sat firmer for the evening. If you try one thing off this whole list, let it be this one, because you have it in your kitchen right now. The egg white draws taut as it dries and lifts the surface for a few hours. A real tightening you can feel. It is not forever. It did not need to be. She used it the morning of a wedding or a funeral, whenever the face had to sit its best. Number 15. She slept on her back with her face turned up. The older Black woman lay down at night and kept her face to the ceiling, not crushed into the pillow, not pressed sideways into the cotton for 8 hours. Here is why that is not a small thing. A face mashed into a pillow folds in the same spots every night, 6 to 8 hours at a stretch, and folds repeated that often stop springing back. Sleep lines become set lines. She gave her skin nothing to fold against. The pillow did not pull on her. The years had less to work with. Number 14. She kept the thin skin around her eyes soft with castor oil. The Black mother tipped the castor oil bottle onto one fingertip at night. She touched it along the brow and the lash line, the thinnest skin on the whole face. That skin dries and creases first, before any other part, because it has the least underneath it to hold it up. A drop of the heavy oil kept it supple through the night. The eye area is where the aisle sells its most expensive small jar. Her dark hands spent pennies, and she went to sleep. Look at the corner store shelf in Bronzeville now, where the older Black women once bought a tin for a dime. The skincare aisle is worth over $180 billion a year. The eye cream alone runs $40 for a jar smaller than her thumb. The overnight mask, $50. The serum underneath, $60 more. Every one of them is a way to seal moisture into the skin and hold it there overnight, which is the exact thing a 4-cent cloth and a brown stick of cocoa butter did on her shelf. The industry did not find something she was missing. It found something it could charge her granddaughter for. Number 13. She ate the cuts that build the skin back. The Black grandmother stood over the cast iron skillet on a Sunday and cooked the parts other people threw out: neck bones, oxtail, the skin left on the chicken, the pot of greens with the ham hock down in it. These are the cuts thick with collagen and gelatin, the very thing skin is built from, fed in from the inside while she was only making supper. 60 years later, they sell that same collagen as a powder in a tub for $30. The Black grandmother got it off the bone for almost nothing and called it dinner. The science caught up. The supper was already right. Number 12. She sealed the winter cracks with one fingertip of pressing oil. The older Black woman kept the sweet Georgia brown by the dresser, and in the deep cold months she took one fingertip of it for her face. Only in winter. Only on the driest nights. Dry winter air pulls water straight out through the skin, and once that water is gone, the surface cracks and ages fast. The heavy oil laid a seal over the top and stopped the loss. A little went a long way, and she never used more than a touch. The jar lasted her the whole season. Come spring, she set it back in the drawer and let her skin breathe on its own again. She read her own face better than any label could. Number 11. She kept her face out of the cold wind. The Black mother pulled her scarf up over her cheeks before she stepped off the front porch into the wind. Not out of fear of the cold, out of habit. Cold wind strips the skin's own oil barrier, dries it raw, and a stripped barrier is a barrier that ages quicker and reddens easier. She kept the wind off her face the way she kept the rain off her hair. The wool scarf came up over the nose on the coldest mornings, only the eyes showing. The skin underneath the scarf stayed calm and whole. She was protecting it before anyone sold her a word for it, and the protecting cost her nothing but the lifting of a hand. Number 10. She wore a cold cream to bed and wiped it clean by dawn. The African American grandmother kept the Lucky Heart cold cream on her nightstand, a Black-owned line going back to 1935. At night, she scooped a fingertip and smoothed it over her face in the lamplight. She slept in it. By dawn, she wiped it away with the soft cloth, and the skin came up soft and full. The reason it worked is the sleeping hours. Skin does its most repair overnight, and the seal of cream laid over it holds the moisture in while that repair runs. They sell that now as an overnight mask in a frosted jar. It is the same scoop she took for a dime. The jar got fancy. The job stayed the same. Number 9. She ate the sweet potato and got her retinol off a plate. The Black grandmother filled the plate with sweet potato and collard greens, deep orange and deep green. That orange is beta-carotene, and the body turns it into retinol, the very thing the aisle now bottles as its star wrinkle serum. The older Black woman ate hers. It went in with supper and came out in her skin. No bottle, no dropper, no $40 tube. The plate did the work the serum claims. 2 sweet potatoes a week was all it took, and they cost a nickel apiece at the corner store. The Black mother just never knew to be impressed by it. To her, it was only supper on a Tuesday. Number 8. She never scrubbed hard. The older Black woman washed with a soft cloth and a light hand, small, slow circles, never a rough scrub. There is a reason that matters more for her skin than for most. Scrubbing hard tears the barrier, and in darker skin a torn barrier answers with dark marks, post-inflammatory spots that sit for months and read as older, tired skin. So she was gentle every single time. The cloth barely pressed. The skin stayed even and clear. A rough hand might feel like it was doing more, scrubbing harder for a deeper clean, but on her skin the opposite was true. The gentle cloth kept the marks away, and the rough one called them up. Harder was never better, and she knew it without a single dermatologist saying so. Number 7. She closed with a cool rinse, never hot. The Black mother ran the last rinse cool, never hot, over her face at the basin. Hot water feels good and strips the skin bare, melting off the thin oil layer that keeps the surface plump and sealed. Cool water leaves that layer alone and firms the surface as it closes. She finished cool every time, summer and winter both. The skin held its own oil and held its shape. Her mother had run the rinse cool, and her mother before that, the same cold splash at the same enamel basin. A small thing, done 10,000 mornings. Number 6. She rested her face and never frowned into the mirror. The older Black woman slept her full hours and kept her brow smooth, even when the day was hard. She did not stand at the glass and frown herself into a knot. Here is the part the aisle will never sell you. Lost sleep and a clenched brow raise the body's stress load, and that stress breaks down collagen, the scaffold that holds skin firm. Rest builds it back. A soft brow lays down no line. She got her sleep, and she let her face be easy. And that did more than any cream on the shelf. The cheapest habit on this whole list. It cost her nothing but the choosing. Number 5. She locked it all in with 1 drop of oil. The Black mother finished her face at night and pressed 1 drop of sweet almond oil over the top of everything. The last step, the seal, everything underneath it, the cream and the water and the warmth, stayed sealed against the skin through the night instead of drying off into the air. 1 drop, smoothed flat in the lamplight. The cream did the feeding, and the oil shut the door on it. She woke with it all still working. The almond oil bottle sat by the basin, half the size of her hand, and 1 bottle lasted her the better part of a year. Number 4. She kept her face in the shade and the early hours. The older Black woman did her yard work at dawn, and she sat under the wide brim of her hat by the time the sun climbed. She kept the midday off her face on purpose. Now, her deep brown skin already carried a real built-in shield, more than lighter skin starts with, and that is a true head start of years. But the sun still breaks collagen down even through that shield, only slower. Shay did not waste the head start. It added to it. She was not burning through the years she had been given. She was stacking more on top. There is one more habit left, the one at number 1, and it is not a cream or a food or a cloth. The African American grandmother on that front porch did every single thing on this list: the skillet and the cocoa butter and the cool rinse and the shade. But none of it was the real reason her skin held. The real reason was something she believed, or rather something she refused to believe. And once you see it, you will understand why nothing else on the list ever had to work very hard. It is the one the whole aisle was built to take from her. Number 3, she drank the pot liquor and fed her skin from the bottom of the pot. The Black grandmother lifted the lid off the greens and poured the dark liquid at the bottom into a cup. The pot liquor. The water the collards and the ham hock had cooked down into for hours. She drank it down, and into her went the minerals and the vitamins cooked out of every leaf, the iron and the vitamin C and the rest. The building block skin needs to stay firm. White neighbors poured that water down the drain. She knew better and always had. They bottle those same minerals now as a skin tonic and charge for the privilege. The Black grandmother had it in a cup off the back of the stove. It cost the lid she lifted. Number 2, she ate the okra and let the slick water do its quiet work. The older Black woman cut the okra into the pot and never minded the slick. That slippery water the okra gives off is full of antioxidants and vitamin C, compounds that help skin hold its collagen and stay springy. She ate it in the gumbo and the stew week after week, a food carried over from West Africa and grown in her own back garden. Her grandmother grew it. Her mother grew it. The plant that came across the water with her people fed her skin the whole time. They sell those same antioxidants in a dropper now. She grew hers in the yard. Number 1, she never once believed her skin was the problem. This is the one. The African American grandmother on that front porch never looked in the glass and saw a flaw to fix. She did not think her dark skin was uneven or damaged, or a thing that needed correcting before it could be called good. She fed it, and she shaded it, and she sealed it, and then she let it be. That is the whole thing the aisle could not sell, so it sold the opposite. It spent 60 years and untold billions teaching her granddaughter to doubt the skin she was born in, because a woman who doubts what she has will buy whatever she is handed. The doubt was the product. Everything else was just inventory on the shelf. The older Black woman never bought the doubt, not once in 80 years. And that is why, in the photograph on the front steps, her deep brown skin at 60 held the same calm it held at 40. She was never fighting her skin. She was only keeping it. The older Black woman in that photograph is gone now, and the yellow cotton dress is folded in a cedar chest at the back of a closet. Her habits cost less, all of them put together, than one bottle of the serum her granddaughter reaches for now. The cast iron skillet still sits on the stove. The cocoa butter still comes in the brown and gold stick. The okra still grows in the back garden every summer, the same plant her grandmother grew, the slick water still rising off it in the pot. The buttermilk still sits cool in the door of the icebox. None of it ever asked her to doubt a thing. None of it ever told her she was not enough. What the aisle replaced was never a gap in her routine. There was no gap. What it replaced was the calm. What is the one thing your grandmother kept on the back of her stove? The thing you still see when you close your eyes? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. If a single habit here meant something, tap like and subscribe so the next list finds you. Take a look at blackgrandmasvault.com. The full guides are waiting for you. The link is right below. Take care of the skin you were given. I will see you on the next one.